This is Did You Do It? It's 10:45 p.m., June 20th, 2018. And what I'd like to talk about tonight is, well, we all think the end is near. And I don't want to talk about the last day. I want to talk about the second to last day. And I'm not going to talk about the likelihood of it. I'm going to talk about the possibility of it. Okay? Now, I'll start off by saying something about a story I heard years ago about Vietnam War. Agent Orange was big news. Something I didn't hear too often was about them valumating little villages and towns to make the villagers docile while the other towns were being attacked. Well, in the early days of the internet, before Google, it was Ask Jeeves. So that's when my girlfriend says, yeah, that was when it was just you and the other guy on the internet. Well, I went over to Ask Jeeves and I said, hey, Jeeves, what's this I hear tell about the valumating of the Vietnamese folks? Well, I pulled up some stuff and it was interesting, and I can't find it again. They just eliminated it from the web, but it seems to be there's some corroborating evidence. I'm going to show you something I bumped into. So I started a search. I started out like this: chemicals known as calmatives used in Vietnam War. Okay, so now that I didn't click on that first. Went down here. First one I clicked on was U.S. Military Chemical Weapons History Commons. Okay. Now in here, I'll give you all these links. It tells you about the Agent Orange, 1960, 73 in Vietnam. It tells you about 2005. They said nope, they're not letting the Vietnamese sue us. U.S. sprays chemical on Oklahoma town. Apparently does not monitor effects. Just the public comments here. And there's a link to every article. Biological weapons tests in Puerto Rico, tests in Florida. There's links here. I'm going to give you this link. Okay, and I'm going down. Soldier test pills of sarin. Sarin seems popular. Tested in Alaska, sarin. Sarin tested in Hawaii. Sarin possibly used in Laos. There's links all over the place. Pentagon admits 127 chemical and biological warfare sites in the U.S. Well, today we just pulled out of the UN Human Rights Council, didn't we? Thanks, Mary Greeley News on that one. Plane crash in Holland, sarin, more sarin. Defense Science Board, okay, so I'm interested. Congress kills Chemical Weapons Convention, okay. In favor of legislation that restricts international inspections of chemical sites. February 12th. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay, yeah. Israel found to be developing weapons that may violate chemical bans. September 10th. U.S. Army applies for patent for rifle-launched grenade for crowd control. A couple months later, patent was approved. Well, there was big controversy over that. Well, I'm going to go ahead and second link I clicked on was this one here, and this was interesting. New World War. Now you got to consider the source. I've never been here before. It talks about calmative agents, also called chemical peacemakers, and capacitants and psychotropics, are used on people to render them incapable of continuing their actions. They cause a variety of effects from hallucinations to unconsciousness and will be used in a very large number of operational scenarios. Broad categories of calmatives, including opioids, antidepressants, all kinds of stuff here. They include drugs that are used to treat anxiety, depression, schizophrenia. Okay. Chemical impact on the central nervous system produces lots of side effects and nausea and vomiting. Okay, a lot of stuff there. It's been suggested that the chemical aphrodisiacs that cause homosexual behavior. What? Never heard that before. Okay, here. In the variety of situations, okay, quote, in the variety of situations in which non-lethal techniques are used, advocates the Applied Research Laboratory at Pennsylvania State University, there may be less need to be concerned with unattractive side effects, quote unquote. They described how one could specifically designed to include less than desirable side effects than headaches and nausea. Wouldn't be nice to have that PDF, wouldn't it? Well, there it is. I'm going to give you this link too. And the most interesting pages in here are 8 preclinical and clinical information on calmatives and an ideal non-lethal calmative. Okay, you go 8 and 9. Let's see if I got it saved. I think I highlighted that stuff for us. I did highlight it. Preclinical and clinical. Just going to give you this brief. In order to obtain as complete information as possible on a given calmative agent with potential as non-lethal technique, close attention to 2 distinctively different types of medical research literature was deemed essential. Both preclinical and clinical research literature. Each type of research data provides a valuable and unique contribution to our current knowledge of calmative agents. Both preclinical and clinical research provides important information vital towards the identification of calmatives that may be best suited for use as non-lethal techniques. In the preclinical arena, research investigators are typically conducted in a variety of models ranging from in vitro isolated cell cultures to recording in brain slides or anesthetized small animals. Often data obtained in preclinical research setting is obtained using bacteria or yeast models. In addition, receptor pharmacological is often established in isolated membrane preparations. Each of these cell types preparations allow for the precise quantification of close response effects for a drug. Okay. Then it goes on to say, results obtained from research conducted in clinical setting provide additional information that is vitally needed for assessment in calmative pharmaceutical agents. First, such data is required to demonstrate that a given drug will provide the desired behavioral effects. Moreover, while effective doses range can be often estimated in preclinical research setting, the doses and routes of drug administration must be confirmed in a human population. Likewise, potential toxicities and side effects that may cause harm to an individual can be identified in a clinical research setting, which means in the population. Which goes back to this, where they're telling you they're testing all these things on the population. Well, hopefully on the second to last day, they might just put us all to sleep. And you know, you could have all the guns and ammunition in the world. It doesn't matter where you're at. You know, you're gonna be too tired to grab your weapons. I'm not against guns. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I think they're important. I'm glad that you have them. I don't have any, but hey, I'm gonna give you all these links. This is a good one. You got to read all this. This is really good. And then the Penn State document is 50 pages long. It's a hard, thick read, but it's extremely interesting. And one more thing, there's a lot of cool stuff going on over at the Goes. There's something going on. Go to the energy only, energy counts, and go back to midnight on 2018 and just let it run through. Pay attention across the top of South America, off of Mexico, and over the center of the Pacific. Okay, I'm gonna do a video on that. It's quite interesting. It's just very unusual. See if I can pull it up. Like, see if I got enough time on the tape to pull up a little deal for you. Over here is especially interesting. Got that pattern that consistently goes across the top of the South America. And we got this huge anomaly. Oh my gosh, 2 days in a row, actually, on the 18th and the 19th, at around the same time of day that occurred. So that's kind of interesting to me. Let's see what time that might have happened. Okay, starting at 1 a.m., both on the 18th and the 19th. Check your energy counts, and then do the energy group. What else? the counts and the energy. Okay, do both. Yeah. And then put it on natural color